Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Clarence Holman, Scott Selections here for Saturday, January 29th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up having a loss in college basketball with Monmouth minus 11.5 at minus 110 on Bet Online. They won the game, but it was a close game throughout, and they were never able to break away. So picked up a loss. Look for a bounce back winner here on Saturday. And for the play of the day, you can look at a matchup between the Nets and the Warriors taking place at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for the play of the day, going with the Warriors at home -6 at minus 118 on Fox Bet. Time recording of 4 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like Golden State in the spot. First of all, the Warriors enter this game in significantly better form. Golden State has won each of its last 4 games, while Brooklyn has lost each of its last 3 games. Plus, you want to go through some of the efficiency numbers. Golden State is significantly better on defense. The Warriors rank first in the league in defensive efficiency, while the Nets rank 14th. Plus, this is going to be the second meeting so far this season, and Golden State won the first meeting in Brooklyn by 18 points. It could have been a lot worse. They were up by 20 plus, and they pulled pretty much all of the starters for the final 7 minutes or so. So Golden State probably could have won that game by 25, 30, but they ended up calling off the dogs and only won by 18. And the point that's worth mentioning about that game is the fact that Kevin Durant did play, and yet Golden State beat them handily anyway. And that's important to mention because, of course, Durant is still out due to injury. He'll be out for the next month or so. Now, the Nets do have Harden, who's coming back from injury, and they do have Kyrie for this game. However, when both of them have played together without Durant, the Nets have really not fared too well. You can talk about the actual recent results. Kyrie has played 7 games this season. They are 4-3 straight up, and you're looking at the actual performances here. They beat Chicago handily, so that's a nice win there. But going through the other results, they lost to Minnesota by 11, beat San Antonio by 15, not a very good team, beat the Wizards by 1 on the road. Wizards are falling apart. They lost to the Cavs by 7 on the road. They did not cover. I mentioned they beat the Bulls. They lost on the road to Portland with a no Lillard and no McCollum. And they beat the Pacers by 8 after a massive comeback in the second half. So they have not really beaten many good teams pretty much all season long, especially lately. And without Durant, the truth is this team is just extremely mediocre. They're not very good at defense. Offensively, we know Harden and Kyrie are very solid, but the supporting cast is very underwhelming. And you can go down the line of the players they're actually giving a decent amount of minutes to. They're looking at the likes of Bembry. James Johnson's getting some run time. They even throw in Javon Carter on occasion. They really just don't have many guys. And you're looking at Golden State. This team, of course, was struggling a bit. They had the embarrassing overtime loss to the Pacers, but that really was the wake-up call this team needed, because since then, they are 4-0. In the last 2 games, they beat the Mavericks by 38 at home and the Timberwolves by 9 at home. And the main takeaway from those 2 games, Golden State's offense with Clay appears to be fully back, because Minnesota ranks 12th in the league in defensive efficiency, while Dallas ranks 5th, and Golden State dropped 124-plus points in both games. Now they face a Nets team. We know that Kyrie doesn't guard anybody. We know Harden especially does not guard anybody. And with the amount of off-ball movement, the amount of really just off-ball screens, I really have a hard time expecting Brooklyn to get many stops here, especially since the Brooklyn big men with Aldridge, etc., tend to play drop coverage on pick and roll. So I do think you'll see a lot of wide-open jump shots for Golden State throughout this entire game. And Curry, who was struggling leading up to the last game, played really well against Minnesota. He shot 50% from the floor, 60% from 3. He had 37 points in the first meeting. I think there's a good chance that Curry could go for a big game here. And Clay, I mentioned how he's been playing better lately. To go through the numbers, so far in the last 2 games, he went 8 for 14 from 3. So I do think that Golden State, with the spacing that Clay and Curry provide, with the off-ball movement, and with the fact that the Nets really don't have many great defenders on the actual roster, I have a hard time believing Brooklyn's going to score enough points to keep up. I expect to see a high-scoring game, but Golden State could probably score 130 here if they want to. I think they'll probably score 120, 125. And I do think that the Nets supporting cast is so underwhelming that unless Kyrie or Harden, or maybe even both, go nuts, the Warriors should win this game pretty handily. I'm assuming by about 9+ points. The play that once again here for Saturday, January 29th, is going to be on the Warriors, -6 at -118 on Fox Bet. Bye, everyone.